Hello, everyone. My name is Dennis, and for the first actor discussion forum, I'll be talking about Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Plain Book in 2012. I will start sharing my screen here, my PowerPoint, and let's get started. All right, so first I'll be talking about the actor in the film briefly, and we'll get into the clip, and then I will deeply analyze the performance, and I'll make a conclusion of it. So the actor we'll be talking about Jennifer Lawrence here. She's an American actress, and her first film I ever watched was The Hunger Games. So basically, after watching this film, I started falling in love with her, and after The Hunger Games, I also watched the second one, the third one, and I also watched some of her other films, like Silver Plain Playbook, Mother, American Hustle, all those kind of films here. And basically, Winter's Bone. Basically, after this film, that she started becoming very famous because she was nominated by the Oscar as the best, best actress, like in the film, at a very young age. So after this film, it was a huge hit, even though she didn't win, but she was nominated. So the film I'll be talking about, the first film, the Silver Plain Playbook, and then the second one, Hunger Games, and the American Hustle here. So this is the first film I'll be focusing on. So the first film here, Silver Plain Playbook, it is based on a novel, and the director called David O. Russo. And it had 7 nominations for the Academy Award, and it only won 1, the Best Actress in the Leading Role, Jennifer Lawrence. Bradley Cooper, as a leading male character, in the leading role, he was also nominated, but he didn't win. And there are 6 more nominations, basically. And the genre of the film is rom-com, romantic comedy. Okay, so let's get into the. I'm gonna hide myself here. So let's get into the the scene that I chose. So the title here, I chose one of the most classical, I think the most classical lines from this scene called "Oh my God, you're killing me." So let's get into this film. Let's get into this scene, and then we can start talking about it. So before watching this clip, I just want to briefly talk about that. When you are watching this scene, try to focus on her facial expressions, and then her body gestures, especially like her, for facial expressions, pay attention to her eye movements, mouth, and head, and then, the tone, everything. Let me stop sharing here, and let me go back and start sharing the clip here, and we can start. And ignore the Chinese subtitle here. We have English subtitles. I hope that's helpful. And let's get started here.
No, I don't know.
Sort of how you are. Fine, relax.
What do you mean? How am I? What's that?
Sort of like me.
Sort of like you? I hope to God she didn't tell Nikki that.
Why?
Because it's just not right lumping you and I together. It's just wrong, and Nikki wouldn't like that. Especially after all the shit you just told me.
You think that I'm crazier than you.
Because well, we're different, I mean.
Oh my God. Oh, you're killing me. You know what? Forget I offered to help you. Forget the entire fucking idea, because that must have been fucking crazy, because I am so much crazier than you.
What's your voice now?
I'm just the crazy slut with a dead husband. Forget it!
Shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up!
Hey, Tiffany!
Slow down, Raisin Bran.
Okay.
Hey!
Let me get back here and start sharing my PowerPoint again. So we're here. So, like I said, try to pay attention to her facial expression here, like what will happen exactly. So, Jennifer Lawrence is an actress, who likes to catch the details while performing, especially in this film. So, when I was watching the film personally, I was like feeling that, she is acting. Everybody in this film is acting because this is a film. Everybody is performing, but she is acting, but it seems like she's not. I was imagining myself as one of those people, like in the restaurant, that I was also listening. I was also watching what was going on. I was also observing, what was she doing over there. At the same time, we also pay attention to her tone, her eye movements, head and body movements, her hand gestures, emotional strike, and dialogue. So back to this this clip here that I just showed you guys here, the two main shots. They are the two main concentration is this scene. That first shot here, that when she heard what Bradley Cooper's character said, she started behaving. This is kind of like the climax part of this entire restaurant scene, conversation scene here. That she started having this kind of facial expression. This one is really important that I want you guys to focus on, is because first she was like, she got annoyed. And she felt disgusted by what Bradley Cooper's character said in the scene, that we're not saying, we're different. And so you can see that her eyes movement, it's very slight. It's a slight movement, but at the same time you can see that her eyes, actually she was kind of like looking at Bradley Cooper's like from the up to the bottom. And she was like looking at him. So, from her eyes, I can see like she was feeling disgusted. She was feeling annoyed. And she was feeling, of course, upset and mad and furious, actually. And we can also see that, her tone like, oh my God, oh, you are killing me. And she was thinking, she was thinking that, like what kind of person you are. She was like a question that what kind of person you are saying such things here. And then the second thing, she started behaving like more angry here. So you can see that she started yelling and shouting. Everybody started noticing that. And then, what happened next here. So this is very important. Like I said here, back to here, that like I said, she really focuses on the details when she's performing here. So it feels like her performance is so realistic that you just feel like you are one of those people. You're one of those people in the restaurant that you were observing. But the bigger picture here is that how do we, after analyzing her performance in this script, that how do we understand her character types? And then how do we relate her character type to the entire film? Last week we were talking about the performance and accessories, and the relationship as one of the accessories that, according to this scene, how do I understand the relationship between Tiffany, Jennifer Lawrence's character, Tiffany, and Bradley Cooper's, character. This is already 47 minutes already. It's not like in the beginning of the film, but, in the beginning of the film, the director has already told us, the relationship is kind of like the initial relationship. And right now they had a conflict in this scene, and it gives a hint to audience that audience must be feeling a little bit curious that what will be going on next? What is going to happen between their relationship? Props, costumes here. I think I would like to briefly talk about it here. Is the first props that actually in the before this scene actually they didn't even talk too much. They were trying to find a topic, so it was kind of an embarrassing moment that they were using the everyday object, which are the fork and the cup. There was no dialogue. And there was no tone. There was definitely no sound. But the sound they made when they were having cereal, drinking tea, the fork and the cup, like those stuff, kind of like make the sound. It kind of creates a little bit embarrassing moment when they were trying to find a topic but they didn't know what to talk about. And the costumes is definitely another important element here. It's that are they dating or they're not dating? So, which is what are they doing? What is she doing? What kind of person she is? Her personality and characteristics, which we have a better understanding here right now. And again, how to relate this entire thing to all these elements, components to the entire film. That's kind of more important that I will talk about a little bit later. But like I said, those kind of important elements here. So this is the second clip. I'm only going to talk about the third frame that I captured here, which is like her emotional change here. So what I'm going to talk about is one point from this from this shot here is that thinking about Carol Lombard's performance in To Be or Not to Be, the 2 weeks ago, the film that we watched. That's a comedy film. Her emotional change in the film that he did, her emotional change that she did in the film. What about it? So personally, I feel like her, emotional change is more melodramatic, her performance. But Jennifer Lawrence actually does the similar thing here. But what is the difference? For Jennifer Lawrence, emotional change is more natural, it's more theatrical. And actually, in this scene that you can see that first, like they were just talking, but she started behaving like that. That's a natural change of the emotion. And also in this scene, that actually this scene it happens right after, the dining scene I just showed you guys here, that she changed again. She was still mad with him. And then after that, like she saw like everybody was kind of blaming him, and he has Bradley Cooper's character has his own condition, and he couldn't take it. And the cop actually came because cop also knows that he has a condition, he shouldn't be outside for a long time. And then she also saw that other people there, they started blaming him because Jennifer Lawrence, the character Tiffany, was yelling that he is insulting her, harassing her. But later she realized she'd gone too far. She saw the cop was blaming him. Everybody was blaming him, and she started having sympathy. Sympathy for Bradley Cooper's character. She started feeling like feeling a little bit guilty here, a little bit upset because she realized she'd gone too far, and she started behaving normally. And what happened next, and blah blah blah. So this is a slight relationship development here. The development of their relationship actually changed, even though they are like within in one scene. After the restaurant, they got out. What happened next? And something like that. So their relationship. And many other actually accessories, but relationship is really quite important here. That how do we understand their relationship? How do we understand the development or enhancement of their relationship? How do we understand the character types of both these leading actors? And how do all these components and elements to relate the entire film to understand the film and understand these two leading actors better? So for the conclusion here, I think she really deserves the award, and she's an idol for me. And I think her performance in every film is elegant and fascinating performance. But in this film, she basically did the best job here, and she also established her own acting styles. And at the same time, she's also exploring and expanding more diversity of her acting styles because she has been trying different kinds of like films and which contain different film genres. And many of her films are great, movies are great, and extraordinary actress here. Thank you very much for watching, and that's all from our presentation here.